Hey, yo, what's going on? It's your boy 7 Cents, and this is Actuality Speaks Podcast, where if it ain't real talk, please stay silent. And yeah, I got a real special guest here. He's supposed to be on the first tier, but I call him Mr. R. Man, y'all call him Mr. R&B as well, man. But that's this dude right here, man. He's one of the heavy hitters. All right, and if you don't know, you better get familiar. Big dog. Yeah.
What's going on, brother?
Yeah.
Baby, you've been on my mind. I really don't like wasting time trying to get to know you. Baby, I told you, I just really wanna hold you, stand by your side and console you, be the man that molds you. I can give you what you want, give you what you need. Satisfaction guaranteed, baby, I got what you need, yeah.
Sounds special, don't it, man? You know what I'm saying? The famous intro. I wish I could do the intro. I would do it. I would do it. You know what I'm saying? But I can't hit that note tonight.
Man, look.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, you put me on blast already.
You know, that intro, that shit is famous. You know? Come out with the rose on them and shit.
Hey, you know,
it's a rap.
It's a rap. You know me, man. For me, it's all about the performance, man. Mm-hmm. It's all about capturing the moment.
Right.
And capturing the moment. When I first started, before I started, I was in a group.
Right. You wasn't in that group.
So
right.
I really didn't understand like how it was to be by yourself. Mm-hmm. So once I started I got to start like doing BTS all the time. I got to start doing that.
Salute, matter of fact, I'm gonna cut you off. Salute to the homie. We had D-Lopes on, you know what I'm saying? We had the homie D-Lopes.
What up, D? He already know, man. That's all peace and blessings to him and Keith, man. If it wasn't for those two, a lot of people don't know, if it wasn't for those two gentlemen, a lot of people wouldn't know me because they put me on the platform and basically took their show and created it around me. And, you know, Mr. BTS and all of that stuff. So those are like accolades that I'll never ever forget. But like I was saying, like that's when I was able to like hone my craft, like, and really get to like, because of course we take ideas from the people that did it before us.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so the ladies thing, it was like, what can I do to capture the moment? Like, because people come in, you know, back then I was even a heavier dude, so it was like I need something to like. You know what I mean? I wasn't in the gym like now and stuff like that, so I needed something to grab people's attention. Right. You know what I mean? Right. So I was like, I'm gonna call the ladies. Right. I'm gonna just be like, ladies.
That's it. He's like it. That's it.
And then like, you know, and the first time I did it, it worked. So it immediately worked, and I was like, ooh. I was like, this is gonna be something special. Right. Then when people started mocking. Mocking me, and like some people was trying to use it at shows.
Right. That's that shit though. When you find your shit and then you see, cause you know when I like everybody know like my shit, it's easy. And I started to go to shows and motherfuckers was slowly trying to slide that shit into their shit. I'm like, niggas know that's my shit.
But that's when you know you're doing something. That's when you know you're doing something right. Mm-hmm. So that's when I knew I was doing something right, and that's when I really started to like. I've always felt like I was a natural performer. Mm-hmm. I enjoy that more than the actual, like, it's like a psychology thing with me. I feel like I'm like this, like, I feel like I'm like a psychologist. You have to, like I said, you have to connect with the audience. There's so many times that you can make great music. Right. But if you're not connecting with your audience, that music is just gonna go to the wayside.
Yeah, that's a fact.
You know, it's just gonna, like, when I create a song, it's like, yeah, I'm creating a song for now and we want to be popular and all this stuff, but I think about the whole thing. Like, I already see my videos and everything when I make a song. It's already together. It's already
formed.
Yeah,
like,
it's
from
all.
the time you hear the beat, I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm. From the time you hear that beat, you already know what you already know what you want to do. You already know how you want to go about it. For the longest time with me, I felt like I struggled though because I was trying to find who I was. Right.
I mean, that's how it sounds. You got to figure it out.
And I was trying to find who I was because, like, I'm a soul singer, and the game was slowly changing.
Right.
So you get, and I'm a stubborn dude. I'm stuck in my ways. I'm like, listen, I want people to know I can sing. Like, that's all I care about. I don't care about nothing else.
Right.
But I think it was when, and you know, people, good friends and even supporters would always be like, hey Ray, maybe you should like try something different. And for the longest time I was like, this is what they know me as. Like, like I can't really, like if I switch, it's gonna be like, nah, we don't want that.
Right.
But then I did Ready, my EP Ready. And that changed everything for me. Like, it didn't change nothing performance-wise and things like that. Was
it more so notoriety?
It was more, I feel like, because when Ready came, I was on a mission. So when Ready came, it's really, I'm ready now.
Right.
Like first it was like, okay, you're out here trying to get your feet wet and this, that, and the third. And I'll rag on myself like I was like a Ruben Studdard type dude, you know, like I was kind of bigger, like, you know what I mean? So it was like, I just had the vocals then.
Right.
You know what I mean? So now it became a point where I was like, yo, alright, listen. We about to hit this gym.
Right.
We about to go in here and get these songs popping. And then we gonna come. And then when I came with Ready, I remember when I put the live up, like when I was just like, hey, I'm behind the scenes for the Ready photo shoot. There was so many people on there just going crazy, like, oh my God, you look different. This is crazy.
Right.
Yo, Ray, we salute you. We love you. Like, so I was like, I'm ready.
Now, before you continue, we're gonna push it back some more. Now. I want. Let's talk about the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about young Ray, family life. So you Boston bred, right? Okay. Then.
All day.
Set the scene for me as young Ray.
Young Ray.
What was the childhood like?
Music.
From off top.
Off top.
Is your far as mom, dad, and musical? Individual?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Neither mine.
Not at all. Not at all.
Neither mine.
My mom couldn't sing. It's actually like, my father's side, my father was a manager. So like, and my brothers, they're like producers or whatever.
Gotcha.
So, but they live in Atlanta. They don't even live in Boston. So it was funny because like my pops tried to like some years like after, because I was in a group called 617. What people don't know. We was like, we were the most popular group at that time. At that time in Boston, and you know, we opened up a lot of doors for people, and just I learned so much at that time. So when you're young and you're in the business, that's why I look at a lot of young artists right now, how they be stunting on Facebook and all that, and you sit there and you be like,
all the time.
Like, y'all don't understand, like,
I don't get it.
Like, y'all don't know, like, y'all don't know, like, you feel me? Like, y'all don't know what we go, what, you know.
Real struggle. Like,
the struggle. The times where, I remember, you know, being in my group, man, dude, we would rehearse every day. Every day after school. Every day, 5 to 8. That's why we were monsters before our time.
Right.
Because we had that work ethic, we had that discipline, all that. Now, I don't rag on nobody what they do. What you do is what you do. How you record is how you record. How you perform is how you perform. But you see the legends in the making by their performance.
Absolutely.
You see how they connect with that audience. Again, we go back to what? Connecting with that audience. That's the biggest, that's it. If you can't connect with nobody, what are you doing it for?
That's a fact. That's a fact. Matter of fact, I had a conversation with somebody the other day when I was talking about performances. And I was talking about how basically the stage is where you know if this is for you or not.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I've seen
100%.
individuals get on that stage and literally perform to each other, like whoever that hype man is, they're performing to each other. There's a whole crowd right here, but y'all niggas is looking at each other and shit like bruh, focus on these people. You know what I'm saying?
That right there starts with your etiquette on how you carry yourself in. Like I said, I started young.
Right.
So 14, 15-year-old is not structured like that. You normally, you outside playing football, whatever. I was dancing at 14, you know what I mean? I was dancing and singing every day. So it became, it's what's that saying that they say, like, you it's not really a habit until after 30 days, you know what I'm saying? Like, so once things became a habit to me, it was easy.
It was easy, right?
It was
Right, it's like
it was easy.
You slid that right in there, right? Shit. They slid that right in there. Fucking so when did you realize, like, yo, I got a voice, like I have a voice, like I could fucking sing. Like, when did it hit you?
12.
Now was it through somebody else or like
Whoa,
but you just
it's like a story behind that too.
Tell it, goddamn.
So at first, you know, I grew up on a rough street, man. So like, I wasn't trying to sing at first, you know, because I didn't want nobody to think I was a punk,
right,
you know what I mean? Like,
so
you're trying to like, yo, dudes ain't gonna be trying to beat me up at night because I'm more out here singing. But then it was a couple of my homies who I know who were like real in the street, like they was singing, and I'm like, hold up, like,
there's a lane for
I'm
this.
like, hold up, you sing? And then I just came out. They're like, oh, you're like 100 times better than me, bro. Like, this is what you need to be doing.
Right.
So that's where it kind of like started, and the buzz came. That buzz for it came. I was in middle school, and they was like, it's called a class called library class. So you can like do your homework, whatever, chill. So remember the Walkman? Remember dudes had a Walkman. Dudes had them. So I had the Walkman on, and I was listening to Motown Philly. I'll never forget this, right? So anyone that knows I have a big voice. So I'm singing and I'm like, I'm just going in
your own way.
in my own little world, in my own little lane. When I looked up, the whole class was looking at me, and this girl was like, "Oh my God, you can sing so good!" And I was like, yo, I remember her name too. Shout out Sabrina. Like, yo, if it wasn't for you, girl, I probably would have been playing football or something, man. Like,
Sabrina, you a part of history, goddamn.
But she like screamed out like, yo. And I was like, oh, I want to do this for the rest of my life now. Like, you know, because at first, when you're young, it's like, that's how you get the girls. Like, you know what I mean?
That's fact. That's crazy.
That's how it is when you first start.
It's the same way, bro. With my rap shit. The same shit. I ain't giving like, I never thought much of it. You know what I'm saying? We did that shit around the crib or whatever. We recorded on boombox or whatever and shit. And then, there's one of my dudes that he did it for real, older cat. And I spit these bars. And he started tripping. He was like, bro, you could fuck, yo, you got something with you. You know what I'm saying? I don't remember the rap. I just remember the last 2 bars. I was like, the way I left it, I was like, you can skip breakfast in the morning, I could bring you the toast. And they was like, oh shit. And this was years ago. Them bars hit. Them bars hit.
That hit hard.
You know what I'm saying? They was like, what the fuck? Breakfast, toast, oh shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Miracle, bro. Still young motherfucker. But yeah, dog.
Nah, I know that was that exact feeling for me. Like, I can remember the first time I was on stage, like, I had goosebumps, bro. Like, yo, it was like, it was standing up, bro. Like, I'm like, this is what I wanted.
Right.
Like, I love this, yo. It became, like, it just was eating me.
Right.
Like, you ever been so consumed with something? Like, I was so, and I still am so consumed with music. Like, it's just, like, I'm passionate about it, man. Like, even when people have conversations with me, like, don't have a conversation with me if you don't want to hear the real. Like, if you want to have these little side conversations, like, you know, these friend ears and like, I love this person for this. Nah, we talking about music. We ain't talking about nothing else. I don't care how much you like this person or that was your homegirl's friend. Like, I don't care about that. It's the music good.
Right.
It's the songs good. That's all we care about. Like, I mean, that's what we should care about.
No,
like, if I don't want somebody to want me to feature on their song because they think I'm a nice dude.
Right. Yes, that's true.
Like, I want you to want me to feature on your song because you think I'm a dope artist. Like, you know, And that's why, like, if you, like, it's crazy, bro, because you're probably the only second rapper I ever worked with in this city.
Hey, listen, y'all wanna hear some shit? This nigga, sex drive. Right? You do have a joint, fire joint though, by the way. Sex drive, right?
Yeah.
Hits me up and says, yo, I want you to get on this shit. I said, alright. I wrote the lyrics. I think what? The next couple of days, the next day, bro, yo, let's perform it. I said, I didn't get to record this shit yet.
Just like that.
So mind you, that was the first time I ever did that. I wrote something and performed it without even recording it or nothing.
Just like that.
At the first time it was at the Hard Rock Cafe. Remember this shit like it was yesterday.
I was like, yo.
He was like,
yo, I need
you on that joint. I said, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do it. You know what I mean? And then we did it again before. I was watching the footage for that shit at the BTS shit, at one of the BTS joints.
Yeah.
But yeah, the shit was dope.
Those are but see, I've always been that spare of the moment type artist, bro. Like, it's a vibe for me. It's a feeling, and for me, it's not about, like, a lot of people go off of like the noise.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like me, I go off of, I look and I'll be like, yo, do you got it? You know what I mean? Like, and that's no disrespect to nobody, because everybody got their lane, everybody do what they do. But for a ROYALE song, I have to be a fan of you to want you to feature on my music.
I agree.
I have to be a fan. But like, and I have to be a fan of not just your music, I gotta be a fan of you as a person too. So like, one of my proteges, my homeboy 2-3, everybody always asks me like, why you got him on every song? And I'm like, there's a reason why I have him on every song. Because one, that's my dog. Mm-hmm. Two, I believe in him. Mm-hmm. And the person that I believe in, I'm going hard for him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Until you show me otherwise. Mm-hmm. You feel me? Until you show me otherwise. And you show me otherwise, then we'll address it then. But, you know what I mean? But I'm always open to working with people. It's just, I try to stay in my own lane. And that's hard being in our, it's hard. You know what I mean? Because, you should be venturing out with other artists. You should be working with other artists, doing other things. But sometimes, like, we just ain't on the same. Like, I gotta be on the same. Like, from me and you meeting even back then, and we two totally different men. Yeah. But we had the same vibes.
Yeah, the vibe.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and you ain't know me from nothing. I know you. I
remember that. Listen, I remember that day. It was for a show. It was for a show.
Yep.
It was for a show. Was at an individual's home. Mm-hmm. No names.
No names.
It was at an individual's home. We was there. It was a few of us, a few artists that might still be doing anything right now, but maybe most of them are not.
Most of them not.
But it was a gang of us though. But and I remember and you stuck out to me because one that was especially back then. That was when I was like a super quiet dude, super quiet. Like, it was just like I ain't say much to nobody. But then you ended up, you were sitting right next to me, and I heard you. You were just talking. You were like, yo, I hope this ain't some bullshit. Like, I was like, yeah. You had that arrogance with you. But it was like, now people like, in my mind, I'm like, what is this nigga? Like, talking all this shit. He was like, yo, hope this ain't some bullshit, cause y'all, listen, I do shows, I do this. He was like, I do this, yo, like this. I'm not here to waste my time. I'm like, I hope he's as good as his fucking attitude. But then, you know what I'm saying, fast forward, I see you doing your thing. I see your credentials and shit. I was like, okay. My man really, you know what I'm saying, he can back that shit up.
And you know what the crazy part about that was, like, and I think I'm glad you brought that up though. Mm-hmm. You know why? Because a lot of people think I'm arrogant, bro. Like, they're like I'm unapproachable. You know what I mean? Like, it's so crazy. Like, I'm the most humble dude you'll ever meet. Word. All it is, you're going off of what you see on stage. Yeah. So you're thinking to yourself, alright, this dude's an ass. Like, you know what I mean? Cause he's good. So he's gonna be like, yo, too good to talk. Yeah. Anybody that know me, I shake everybody's hand, give every chick a hug, give every girl a flower. Right. Like, you know what I'm saying? If I got 2 dozen roses, everybody's getting one. Not Not just the person that I was singing to. Everybody, you know, that's, you know, nice, the hot seat and all that good stuff. We'll talk about that later. But, you know what I mean? Like, it's just people, you can't make a... I remember I was having a conversation, I ain't gonna say the person's name, with another singer in Boston. And it was like, yo, Ray, like, I'm sorry, bro. And I'm like, what? Like, what's wrong, bro? And he's like, yo, what a few people told me, like, little stuff about you, bro. He's like, yo, you're the most humble cat I ever, because he had a conversation with me.
Right.
And we talked about the game and our aspirations and what we want to do. And he's like, damn, like, I can't, that's just one thing I can't never go and be like, yo, this dude, he's about his shit, yo. Right. So that's what I always wanted to be known for, is to be about my stuff. You can feel however you want to feel, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna prove you wrong. Right. Whether you want to come, if you coming in and you supporting somebody else or whatever, you're gonna leave being like, well, you know, I was here for my homie, but that dude that was,
that nigga,
you know, that dude there, like you know, and that's it. And that's what you should crave. Someone to walk away, like, I don't care, let me not say this, I'm not gonna say I don't care about people I don't know, that already know about Ray, or that are already fans of Ray and all that good stuff, because I love you all to death. But I'd rather go in a place where nobody knows me. You ain't never heard from me a day in your life.
Absolutely.
And then put it down on you. That's because that's gonna show, you know, if we want to be real, that's when I knew I had to stop being so soulful all the time. Because I went into a crowd and they was like, and they were digging it, they loved the voice, but they was like, yo, what else you got, bro? Right. Then I was like, oh. Okay. I was like, all right.
Challenge.
You know, that's when your hand go like this, like, all right, like, you wait.
Like, hold on, give me a second.
That's when you like, hold up. So that's when I guess I started to evolve then, you know what I mean, and wanted to do other things. And like, I'm a student of the game, bro.
Got it.
Like, I watch everybody.
You
like,
got it.
I always, even if I ain't no rapper, I watch y'all. Because rap is the culture. Right. It's the culture. That's why I'm over here looking like a rapper. I don't look like a singer. You know, and that's what gravitates people, because they like, this dude about to tackle somebody or he about to rap or something. He can't be like,
watch security on stage.
Exactly. He can't be singing. He can't be singing. He about to go knock somebody out or something. He ain't like, and then I'll be like, ladies, and they're like, whoa, where did that come from? So that's just always gonna be me. I'm always gonna be on something like that.
Yo, listen, I envy singers, man. Cause I wish I could fucking sing. I say that shit all the fucking time. If I could fucking sing, it'd be a rap.
I wouldn't. You know what though? You know what though? Because when you're actually a singer, you ain't gonna want people to want you for that.
What true? Yeah, true.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because
but I feel like y'all could tap into so many different lanes that, as far as like us, well, there's different rappers. Right. There's obviously different rappers, but as far as like, I just take myself for example, like the type of rapper that I am. Now I am versatile. Don't get fucked up, but like y'all can get into so much more different shit. Like,
well, you putting it like that, yeah. I mean, that's the good point about being a singer.
That aspect of it.
Yeah,
you know like you can really tap into wherever.
Yeah, we can go.
You're not limited at all.
Not really, because we can be singing some, you know, some getting to it, and then go sing the national anthem somewhere.
Right.
So, like,
so I can tap in. Like,
I get that, but you know on the same thing, that's even challenging your wave and other rappers' wave, because music is turning into that now. It's turning into melody.
Yeah. No.
So you might not be the greatest, you know what I'm saying, like the greatest singer.
Absolutely.
But vibes is vibes.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So it's like, again, that's a part of evolving. Like, I mean, and I have that same thing. Like, yo, you know how many times Dude, I swear to God, I was Tupac. I swear to God, I was Pac, bro. Like, I was probably the only singer in the crib rapping. And then I get on stage and I'm singing, you know what I mean? But that was because rap is such a huge part of my life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's always been that way because of the style, everything. You know what I'm saying? The way the rappers are, it's that street edge. You know what I mean? And that's what I used to tell people back when I was first coming up in the music business. Like, the girl, she wants a man that's tough, but he's soft for her. Mm-hmm. So that's where the music comes into play, because they look at you like, all right, nobody ain't gonna mess with me, but he's singing to me like he loves me, like, you know what I mean? Right. So that's where that psychology comes with that, like, that's it. Because if, you know what I'm saying, think about all the females nowadays, right? Mm-hmm. I go on stage in a 3-piece suit trying to sing, like, come on, like, that's no disrespect, you know what I mean? But it's like, well, yo, dude got chain on, you look like the dude on the block, but you singing, bro.
Right.
Like,
see, that's the element of surprise.
It just makes it like, ooh, like, you know what I mean?
It brings more,
because it's that edge. It's always like, we always think like what they quote unquote would be like a good dude. Why girls always mess with like the bad boy? And they'll say because of what? Because of that edginess, man. Everybody likes some edge to whatever they're giving. Right. So like that's what I've always been like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I always, like, this has always been my image. I've always been on some hip hop stuff.
No one thinks that's how I met you on some real shit. That's how I always been. Like, you never been the serious, you know, like you said, the 3-piece suit, dude that, you know, that feels just because I'm singing I have to be this way. Like, nah.
I actually, if I was to be real with you, I'm uncomfortable like that. Like the times that I had to like dress up and be on stage, I felt stiff. I'm like, yo, man, take this off, man. Like, yo, man, where my Tim's at, man? Like, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I feel better when I'm like that, man. Like, that's just what it is. Like, I mean, we all come from the hood, man. Like, I mean, it's just like, you know, some on different levels. Yeah. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, we all got that in us. You know what I'm saying? It's just levels to it, you know? So
everything.
Exactly. So that's always gonna be in me. Like, I'm always like yo, we always gonna run to, you know what I'm saying, how your J's on, your Tim's, whatever. Like, that's just what it is. You want me to come in a 3-piece suit? Like, I mean, if you paying me the right money, I'm there. Business is business. But if it's just regular, like, come on, man. Like, you know, like, everybody know ROYALE for the what? The leather jacket, the glasses. Like, that's just who I am. Like, so.
That cool nigga over there.
But see, that's what everybody else say about me. I don't be saying, like, it's crazy, like how you was you was like, I call him, you know, so when I first came out, there was like so much like craziness behind that, because somebody came off and was like, he's a king of R&B.
King shit was going on.
Like, king, he's king of R&B, king of bonds. Like, I'm like, bro.
See, other people will get you in some shit, and you won't even start that shit.
And the crazy part was, it was what other people were saying. Yeah. But and you know, those people that you might support another artist, or, you know, they might not know you, and they might not know what you bring to the table. They gonna have their words. They gonna say whatever.
Of course.
And I've always been like, yo, that don't mean nothing to me.
They're not. It doesn't.
That don't mean nothing to me. Like, yo, it don't. Yo, tell me I had a great performance. Tell me you love what I did. Tell me you love my song. Like, thank you. Like, all that extra stuff, man. Like, what it does is make people not grow. That's what it does. Because you got the naysay, you got the people behind you. It might be your boys, your girls, whatever. They pumping you up. I want somebody to get in my face and be like, yo, I don't like that.
Real tough. I love that shit.
You're like, yo, that makes me go, ooh.
I love that shit. Love that shit. Once it's like, yeah, like you said, it made me go, oh, but then it's like, alright, but now I want to know, like, alright, what's up? Back it up.
Hey, man, I was
like, why?
Recently, I was having a conversation. And sweetheart was like, yo, Ray, I just like, yo, you switched it up, but I want you to switch it up a little more. And I was like
a little more.
I was like a little bit, but it wasn't like a little more. You know what I mean? Like some people be like, what do you mean? Like I was like, oh, a little more. I was like, oh, you want to see something different, huh? I was like, all right, give me a second. I was like, I'll get back to you. Give me like a week.
Right.
I never forget. So my last EP, Journey to Ecstasy, right? I was sitting down. Shout out to Jay Hunt, my boy. Me and Jay was having a conversation because behind the scenes, Jay has a lot to do with me. People don't know that, but you know what I mean. Like as far as like, he always gives me advice on, like, and always like, yo, Ray, you need to do this, man. You playing, bro. Like, you need those type of people around you. Who's a visionary and they see your vision as well. You know what I mean? And Jay was like, yo, Ray. Like, dude, we already know you can sing, bro. Like, we know, like, he's talking to me just like that. Like, we already know you ill. But like, yo, when you come out with like a club type banger, bro, I'm telling you, watch. I was like, I did the finger thing again. I was like, I got you. Went to the studio, called him 2 days later, sent it to him. He just laughed like, yo.
Tell you.
Like, yo, bro, like, this is what I'm talking about. And I'm like, but again, you need people to push you in that direction. Because sometimes you being you love what you do. Like, cause
right, it keeps you kind of like in that lane.
And it keeps you in that lane and in that boss. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I grew up on Jodeci, Boys and Men, like all that stuff. So, of course, your first natural instinct is to go in there and make songs like that. You know what I mean? Because, I'm a balladeer, basically. I'm the panty dropper. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking, the first thing I'm thinking is like, all right, I'm about to go get some people wet. But before you get them wet, make them dance and then, you know what I mean? So, and that's when you learn, and that's when I started to be like, all right, let me try something new, man. Let me just see. And you know what? When you get out your own way, when you get out your own way,
that's
and you just
get out your own way,
and you just let stuff happen.
Yep.
That's when you grow.
Yep.
That's when you grow, man. That's when you grow, and then that's when you be like, I was Ray Royale for like many years, right? But as of 2 years ago, I know who I am. Mm-hmm. So all that time it was trial, error. You doing all this stuff. You trying to do this. And then you finally, like I said, it was the Ready EP that really made me go, this is. And I think it all started like, because people will go, like you said, like he has like this cockiness to him. Right. But behind the scenes, I wasn't that.
Right, you was low.
I wasn't that person. I was insecure. I was like, do they like me?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like and I ain't afraid to say that because a lot of artists will get up and they'd be afraid to say like I was feeling insecure. Like when you dealing with you competing with the world. So there's other people out there. There's Chris Brown. There's this, that, and we're talking about on the superstar status. Mm-hmm. So then let's go down to. Even locally, like I said, I look at everybody. I don't care who you are. You competition to me. Indeed. Even a rapper, you competition to me, bro. You make somebody.
Listen, if this nigga will go before me on the show, then it's like, all right, bet. I see what I gotta do. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but not on no shade shit. Like, it was nothing towards you or nothing like that, but it was just like, I like being around motherfuckers that's super talented. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Me too.
I love that shit.
Because that brings more out of you. So right. Even you, I wouldn't take, I'm a snicker at that. You know why? Because that makes me feel like I did what I was supposed to do.
Absolutely.
Because we're supposed to elevate each other.
That's what it is.
It's about elevate. So if I go on and rip it, it's kind of like I'm going, challenge.
There it is.
Like, now, what you got,
like,
player?
That's what I like. That's
you
what
know,
more. That's
but that's where people mess up because, especially like in our city, man. And I don't like going through all that.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You know what I mean? But that's where people get it wrong because like friendly competition is cool.
It's where it's at.
Like, and that's what I be saying to people, folks, all the time. Yo, y'all feel you know the best, or you feel you the best, or whatever. We got cameras. Let's call up all rhymes, and let's get behind the camera and let's show it.
Real talk.
You know what I'm saying? Because back in the day when I was coming up in high school, we used to battle sing.
Right.
Like y'all battle rap.
Right.
We used to battle sing,
I
bro.
know some cats that used to get busy back in the day.
So for me, it's like you ain't gotta say subliminals on your Facebook and your Instagram because a lot of cats they social media.
Subliminals is crazy.
Like,
and I blame.
But that's
social media for that shit.
But that's your own. But do you see how I was saying to you just a second ago about your own insecurities?
Yes.
That's your own
That's
insecurities.
Your own insecurities because you feel like.
You feel like people
feel
like
that.
yo, they like that dude better than me.
So you have to be loud about it, and you know what I'm saying, all that shit. Like,
and talk about it. Like, but I will always say, your work speaks for
itself.
you.
That's my thing, and I've always been that type of cat.
You don't gotta talk. You don't gotta talk. I don't talk, man. I don't talk. I just go listen. Here's the link. You tell me, because at the end of the day, it's about the fans. It ain't about what you think of yourself, because that's what I be saying. A lot of people live off of what they think of themselves.
That's a fact.
They're like, yeah, I'm a superstar. I feel like this. Well, I mean,
like, hold up, who else think that?
Like, exactly.
Who else can vouch for that?
And people don't know how much like time that takes to even build to even build a little audience that we have right now.
Bro.
How long did it take you, bro?
It took me a while.
How long did it take you?
And I was always honest about my shit. I ain't never lied. Even though, like, again, like you say, your fans, like somebody might see something in you that everybody else might not see. So they'll come to you like, yo, Ray, yo, real talk, yo, you a fucking star. You this, you should be charging niggas 3 bands to get on the drink with you. But on reality speaking, like you're really just warming up and you're just getting right. And honestly, if you was to get booked for this, you wouldn't draw in the crowd the way they think you might. You might. 'Cause I run into that shit all the time. But I never lied. But I used to see so many niggas that did lie.
But you know what?
Which fucked my head up.
Right.
I'm like, nigga, why you fucking lying, nigga? Like, I never used to lie.
Because
like,
again, that's your own insecurities, and you're trying to live up to the rock star. We all want to live up to the rock star life. We all want to, because again, it is all about image, perception, all those good things. But at the same time, it's also about, like you said, being honest,
right,
being humble. But that's why, because a lot of people have people in the ear.
The yes man.
So you have the yes man, you know what I mean? Like when I make a new song, I don't go to the people that I know are gonna be like, this is dope.
Exactly.
I go to the people.
I'll send the shit to the people that don't even like rap or whatever. That I know for sure, like you don't even listen to rap, you don't even like rap,
right.
You're anti-rap.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to hear your opinion. What do you think about it?
And that's what's dope, and that's why you'll know what good music to put out, because I send it to the folks that has critiqued me before. And then if they say it's good, then I'm like, all right, this is good.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because you're gonna have your fans or your supporters that are just, they love you.
Right.
You can't do no wrong.
Right.
You know what I mean? And those people, although they're good and they're great, and I love them, but sometimes that's bad for you, because that'll keep you in a box.
Exactly. It's not bad.
You know what I mean? Like that'll keep you like, yeah, like I know Ray's about to come out and do this. Like, you know what I mean? Like, for so many years, for me, it was predictable. Like, that's how I felt. And I started to feel that way. Like, the more and more you perform and the more and more you get popular, it's like that starts to, like, mess with you. So when the little local fame that I was getting, I was like, all right, I'm doing good. You know what I mean? And I wasn't thinking about what's next.
Right.
I was just like, I'm ill.
Right, yeah, you caught up in that moment.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I know how to capture the moment,
right.
But I'm like, all right. So that's when I started going into like directing my own music videos and stuff like that, which nobody knows. 'Cause I don't tell people.
Now they know.
I don't tell. I've always been. I'm not holding the camera or nothing like that.
You put the vision out there.
Every treatment I wrote.
There it is.
You know what I'm saying? People don't know that. Every treatment I wrote, I said what scene, this and that and third, and I have a person in the room that can vouch for that.
Right.
Like it's all my vision.
I dig it, bro.
You know what I mean?
I'm with you on
and
that. I'm a visionary.
And if you're not an artist like that, it's gonna be a hard road for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's gonna be a hard road for you because again, you can always now. I have my one sole producer that I rock with, but every time I go to him, it's like I already have the blueprint.
Yep.
He's just going, all right.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? He's bringing it to life.
Real shit. That's ill. Because that's the relationship I have with the homie now.
See?
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We know each other from, we go back.
Right.
He knew me from the early days, bro. Like the nigga who would just, I'm getting on anything and everything, throw a beat on, I'm gonna kill it. What? Like, that's what it was. Then nothing else mattered. Like you said, in the early beginning, it was like,
let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir. Go ahead. Let's flip it.
Let's flip it for a second.
Let's do it.
Well, how did? Because when I met you, right, I felt like you should have been more bougie than what you was.
Everybody said that.
And for me, that's not being disrespectful or nothing.
No, I don't think.
That's kind of like how you was like, yo, Ray was like, yo, I ain't doing this and this, that, and third. Some things I seen you do, and me as a man, like, I'm not gonna question what the next man wanna do, but I'm gonna go, yo, bro, like,
yeah, I got that.
You gotta learn you gotta know your worth. Like,
real shit. That's real shit.
You more than that, bro.
I'm glad you said that. That's real shit because it was the space that I was in at the time mentally.
Right.
You dig what I'm saying? Like at the time mentally, not knowing the scene that well and just learning the business and in general. You know what I'm saying?
That's why they always say you gotta. That's what I always say to new up and coming artists if they decide to talk to me.
Right.
I'm not gonna talk to you about music and all that because you probably got that down. I'm gonna talk, and that's probably just the manager in me. You know what I'm saying? Because when I'm done, that's what I want to do.
Word.
I want to manage artists because I feel like I could bring something to the table. Because I've done it before.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I always try to teach. And if you know the business, you'll know your worth. You'll know what you're not supposed to do.
Right.
You'll know what you shouldn't. Because I remember when I first started, I did every show.
Bro.
I did every show. And then sometimes I would see myself in these places, man. I ain't gonna put no names out there now. But I would see myself in some places. And you know what I'm saying? And me and you done been in some of those places together where we'd be like, yo. You know, it having that same conversation that I was having when you first met me, like, yo, bro, like, what am I doing? But in your mind, because of the type of dude I am, like, this is what a lot of people don't know about me, because they're probably like, oh, this dude's gonna charge me $5,000 to sing a hook, or he's gonna, or to do a show or whatever, like, because that's what they might think of my talent. But to me, and I don't want people to take this the wrong way, but it has never been about the money. Do I want the money? Yes. I got a family. I gotta support it, but it's never been about the money. So there was times where I knew I had to eat my feelings about money and go, I need to get in front of people, because once I build my own audience, then I can go over here and go, I want to have my own show at the City Winery and sell it out.
Right.
And I ain't got to deal with no middlemen.
For sure.
I ain't got to do nothing, and that's why I feel like a lot of us Boston artists, we didn't capitalize on that.
No, yeah.
You know what I mean? We didn't capitalize on.
I definitely didn't, because it was my mentality was just like, yo, I just had this mentality of where I felt like I should be in order to be like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? At certain, I just didn't feel like I was there.
Like, I see like a lot of people, like, they migrate together, and it's like, yeah, it's good y'all in a picture together and all that stuff, but where's where are we making the money at?
Like what's coming of that?
Like what's coming of that? Like, if I'm not gonna be around and like, cause I see a lot of artists, like a lot of artists move like they had to be friends with other artists to put them on. No. You got to make a fan base. Artists, we not artists to be cool with each other. I mean, if it happens, you know what I'm saying? God bless, it happens. We become friends or whatever. But at the end of the day, it's about putting your name out there, because you're not gonna go stream my single while you in the picture dapping me up or whatever. Like let's be honest. Let's be honest. But that fan is though. You know what I mean? That fan's gonna do that. So I would always go, and when I always step to certain people, because again, this is the only people I believe in, I'd be like, yo, let's put this money together and do a show. People think I'm crazy. Like, nah, bro, why are we doing that? We could just keep going to singing at the House of Blues. Like, why do we keep singing under somebody else's?
Why do you want to keep doing it?
Why do we keep singing under somebody else, bro? Right. Like, don't you want to split this money between us and we be good?
Right.
Like, and not have, like, I learned that early in the game where people seen the rise of ROYALE was happening, and then they jumped on it and was like, yo, he's gonna get people to my venue. So when that happened, who's losing out on money? Because they was getting, because those girls was front and center. They was eating, they was doing whatever.
I saw it.
You know what I mean? So it's like, you gotta become smart and like, yo, the only people that, shout out D Loops and Keith, because yo, those dudes did me so good. So good from many angles, yo. And it wasn't about no paper. It wasn't about like, it was just like
them dudes had true passion for this.
It was like a platform, and they looked out.
Right. They wanted to see people win.
And they wanted to see people win. And that's why anytime they picked up that phone and was like, yo, I need you to perform, I was there. Same. I was there. No questions asked, no nothing. I was there.
Period, man.
Period. So like, and when you have relationships like that with people, I feel like that's you always need people like that in your corner, bro. Always need people like that in your corner. You know that as being an artist, man. Like, and that's why I even think this is cool what we doing right now, because we catching
the shit.
Like, we catching up.
I love rapping, nigga. But this, when I was tapping into this shit, I said, nigga.
You know what's crazy? Like, you know what's crazy when I seen that you was doing it?
Yeah.
I was like, yo, this is so dope. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I hit you up and I was like, yo, bro, blessing. You know what I mean? And sometimes, I know people be like, yeah, you see what I'm doing now, but you ain't really, you know what I mean? But because like a passion
I know how to decipher.
Like, that's like a passion of mine too, to like do this type of stuff, man. Like I've been asked so many times, Marv's gonna kill me. my homie Marv, man, always was like, yo, Ray, you need to do a show, man. What's wrong with you, bro? Like, you got so much to talk about. You got so much you can bring to the people. But when you stuck in this music thing, man, sometimes, you know what I mean? Like, but now I'm like, the more and more I come on these shows and vibe out with people and stuff, I'm like, yo, I need to be on the other side too.
Right.
Like, I need to be on the other side too, bro.
You know, the other side is a beautiful thing, bro. It's different. It is. Because I feel like the conversation is different from when I was an artist. Because when I come at niggas with this whole, Actuality Speaks podcast, I got this platform here, it's a whole different, it's such a smoother conversation.
Right.
Because I feel like, again, especially with rapping,
but people need you now.
Alright, that shit's hard. I love that shit. I love that shit.
But that's why it's a turn now, because before it was like y'all were networking, like, yo, bro, you just get at me, might do a little hook. Now it's like, yo, bro, you got that, bro, you got this podcast, bro. Like,
can I get on?
What's good?
Look who that is. You. And I'm like, you ain't never gonna do that shit.
Yeah,
but some people.
But people always been like that. People always been like that though. It's like I even know people that are like, I'll I would have like certain dancers or certain people in my video or certain director shoot my video that people ain't never paid attention to before.
No, yo.
And next thing you know, everybody working with me.
The funny thing, you said that shit. Cause like I said, I was looking back at certain things. I'm looking at certain videos and shit when I'm looking through your shit. And I say, look at her. Like, ain't that about a bitch?
Yeah, and
like,
you know
thinks she's the shit now.
Yeah,
like, look at you, humble beginnings.
It's crazy because if I was that arrogant guy that a lot of people think I am or say I am or whatever the case, why did I try to help so many people? Because at the end of the day, I was paying them. They wasn't paying me.
Right, you paying them.
I was giving you a platform.
Showing them some love.
And you know, that's the way it happens. I mean, I can't really say that I got any like bad vibes with anybody, to be honest, like, because I always did business.
Right.
Like, yo, I'm paying you for your services, show up, do your thing, and then boom. And we can, it's always been like that. But when people start to rise and they start to get their thing, one thing about me and one advice I always tried to give people was, yo, when you're rising up, it's cool. But always show love to the people that showed love to you first.
Always.
You know what I mean? Always. That's a cardinal rule. Like, always show that love. Always. Because it's like you said, going back in the videos, I know a lot of people that's popping right now that was in my stuff. That was doing something in the world. You know what I mean?
I love that though, cause it's like I feel, and again, like I'm humble, like you humble, so we know you understand what I'm trying to say here. I'm never that type of person to just, like you said, step up and say, yo, man, like, that motherfucker was, I would never do that. I would never do that. But again, there was a lot of individuals. I remember your humble beginning. I remember,
and that's what, but again.
To see how some of them act now, though, it fucks me up.
But they will, everyone goes through that process when you learn. I'll tell you when I got my humble pie, right? This was way before ROYALE. Okay? Got my humble pie when I was in my group. We got signed in Scope Records.
I said, Keisha Cole?
Yep.
I want to talk about Keisha Cole.
On tour with Keisha Cole. All these wonderful things happening.
Name drops.
Living in LA. You know, life is good, right? Life is good. You know, we got a pool in the back, man. Honey's running around.
Man, doing
cars. We good. Like you like. I'm like, I'm never going back to Boston.
Right.
I'm never going back to Boston, bro. I'm lit. Until that day happened when you back in your mom's house. When I stepped back in my mother's house, I was like, yo. I was like, yo. And mind you, I had a record deal when I was 17 years old, bro. So I never worked.
Right.
So imagine coming back.
Right.
You had a job, finished high school, but what was like?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you need more than that, bro. Like, you know what I mean? To be, unless you want to get an entry level job or something like that. So imagine coming back, and everything goes sour with your situation. And like, I know a lot of people. Like, shout out to everybody that was in Metro City. Those are still my boys.
Like, still
to the day. I mean, some of us are. Okay. Some of us are not. You know what I mean? But that's the trials of life. But I'm not about the drama. You know what I'm saying? I love those dudes, man. I broke bread with them. Right. So at the end of the day, it's always gonna be love. You know what I mean? And we did a beautiful thing, man. We made it out of what people thought we never could do. You know what I'm saying?
That's just it. I seen a nigga in the Keisha Cole video. I said, oh shit.
Like,
I said, oh shit.
I never.
Keisha Cole's video, nigga.
I never.
I don't love you no more. I think it was on the G. Look at that shit. Play the fucking video. I seen the nigga. I said, oh shit. That's when I ate my humble pie. I said, oh shit, this nigga real. I said, damn, I ain't done no shit like that.
You know what's crazy? And those things, it's such a blessing. Yeah. And when you young, you don't even be thinking about that.
Right.
you don't even be thinking like I wasn't really thinking like, yo, I was on Apollo, bro.
Right.
Like, and I had 3 standing ovations at the Apollo.
Bodied it.
And let me tell you something that a lot of people don't know. I was sick that day. I was sick. I was sick.
Yeah.
And on top of that. And on top of that.
Yeah, this is what I want to say, man.
And on top of that, like right before, this is why, man, you gotta be focused on your music, man. Cause right before then, I got into an argument with my ex girl, like right before I went on stage. So I felt like that put me over the edge too.
Really, that could have been. Luckily, it was a good thing for you because it could have been bad.
It could have been that.
Because I've seen that work horrible for people.
Exactly.
Like, but yeah, that's crazy.
But like, you never think about those. Like, when I was on, if you watch that footage of me, you'll see me looking up like this, right? One was total disbelief that was happening, because in the beginning, you know how it is. Yeah, exactly. Folks is like this. You know, they don't want to give you your props. They give you they react
after the fact.
They react after the fact. Exactly. They come. Every girl I would see in the audience, man, they be looking like, I'd be like, you didn't like this? You know what I'm saying? Then
they get away.
Then I go back in my Facebook inbox. I got like 20 inboxes. Like, you were so good.
Why the fuck did you say that shit then? Goddammit! Like,
and that's the difference. You know what's crazy? That's the difference between the music scene that we're in now versus like when I was in my group when we were first coming up. Yeah. Like, girls back then, yo, they were breaking the stage and all type of stuff, man. It was like. I was like I literally remember getting like thrown. Like it was crazy because we had security then, because it was that crazy for us. It was that crazy for us. Like, we did like a school tour, right? So we went to all the middle and high schools in Boston, right? Yo, every single time we had to at Wheatley down Dudley, we had to get escorted out by the police. That's bad. That's how crazy it was. Because as soon as the principal went over the intercom, like, 617's in the building. That whole school, whole school. And what I loved about my group is something like what you said earlier. It even carried over to my solo career. We could do everything. Like, we was in the mayor's office, and then we over here, you know what I mean? Then you're here, and then we was opening for Jaheim, and then you're like, you can, and that's what I see when I see people working. And I always, like I said, I'm watching everybody. I watch everybody eat, bro. I watch everybody's moves, bro. Because at the end of the day, if I see somebody doing something interesting, I'm gonna go, why didn't I think of that? Right. You know what I mean? And I'm not going, oh, I didn't think of that. You know, like, like I'm like, all right, well, you did. You know what I'm saying? That's why my new album it's called The Book of REY. It's coming out.
Let's talk about it
real soon. But my first single is called I'm Back. And the reason why it's called I'm Back is, it speaks for itself. Right. But it also, I feel like what I've evolved to become is the voice for men. Because females, y'all got Keisha Cole, Mary J. Blige, all those females that talk about what goes on in relationships, what the females go through with men. Right. But who talks about what men go through? And the situations that we go through? Who talks about that? Right. Do they really talk about? They really talk about the bad relationships, the toxic females. We don't talk about them because we too busy talking about having sex and this and that. But nobody's really talking about the real shit, the real. And I didn't like that. I'm like, yo, because it's so funny because my relationship now is public. This is the first time I've ever. So everybody's questioning it right now because they're like, yo, this dude, he's showing a girl. He ain't never showed no girl. But my previous relationship was not a bad situation, but it wasn't what it was supposed to be. And people are waiting to see what I'm gonna say. Right. And for me, it was like I didn't want to react right away and start, because normally that's what I would do. I'd come out with, and I'd be talking about this and that, but I really wanted to talk about the redemption part now. not so much what went bad, because I'm making you famous, like,
Exactly.
you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Not famous, but you know, it's like I'm making people, like, I'm putting you on, basically, because now it's making you look good. That I'm even talking about. That's just like if somebody's in a relationship, they're like, I don't care. You messed up right there, but I don't care, because you do care. You know what I mean? Like, that's just facts, bro. You know what I mean? So for me, it was just like, I feel like I'm speaking for all the fellas, all the things that we went through in these not so good relationships, and then we get in a real. Nah, but the beautiful part is not how hard you fall, is like what happens when you get up. Then when you get up and you in a talk, like, yo, bro, I seen you do like a not even a 360, bro, a 380.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I was like, and I'd be happy for that, bro.
Me too.
I'd be happy to see black love.
I love it.
I'd be happy to see that, bro.
I want you to be happy.
And I remember as an artist, I used to feel scared to talk about my relationships.
Right.
I thought it was gonna kill my buzz. You know? Because I was like, yo, if I talk about girls, all the girls that love me is gonna be like, yeah, I don't want him now. He got a girl.
Some people take it like that, but it's like, it hasn't changed anything.
But you can't live for, and that's what I learned. Like I said, when I was coming up, I was so high on the ROYALE thing, man. I couldn't be Ronaldo. I was just ROYALE all the time. And it was so funny because, like, I like to use people in your life, because I had an ex-girlfriend who said that to me. Like, yo, Ray, and she didn't say it in a malice way either.
Right.
She was just like, yo, you don't know the difference between Ray and Ronaldo and ROYALE.
Right.
And I was like, I don't. Because I've always been ROYALE. That's just what it is. Because when you get any amount of success that you have, right? You always got to be like you. I know you felt like you always had to be ease.
Right.
Always.
Yeah.
But how do you be in a relationship like that?
Right. How do you? Yeah, because I've been in it.
You know what I mean? Like, how do you be in a How do you be in a relationship like that? Where you just
like, I don't know who this nigga is, but I know who that nigga is. Like, what the fuck you talking about?
right? And sometimes there is some truth to that. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? Like, and when you think about it, there is some truth to that. But that's not because you're a bad individual. That's just because when you start to get popular, and that's what I'm saying. So I can only imagine what people go through who are superstars.
Indeed.
Because it didn't matter wherever I went. It's like, even today, and I fell off the scene for like a year, but people still know my face. People still, like, everywhere I go, bro, and this is no exaggeration, and I'm not trying to act like I'm anything, because I'm the most humblest cat, bro, trust me. I'm not like, I'm anybody. But when I go anywhere, someone knows me, and that feels good.
Oh, this is big.
I remember I was out with my kids. Bro. And my kids was like, yo, daddy, why does everybody know you? and that was
flex on your kids.
And that was like the best feeling. That was like the best feeling in the world, man, to like, because they'll look at you and be like, oh yeah, especially my son, he's 18 now, he's a little G now, he's doing his little thing, and he laughs that his boys be like, yo, your pops is ill. And he'd be like, yo, you know what I'm saying? That's just my pops, bro. Like, but I like that. I like the fact that my daughter was like, yo, get ill. Like, you know what I mean? So it's just a blessing to do this, man.
No, it is.
It's a blessing to do. It's a blessing to be here with you, bro. Like, because I know where we've been. I know where we came from.
Like, that's the illest shit.
I know where we came from.
That's the illest shit. The fact that like I said, like, I got you, that had you here, had you pull up. You know what I'm saying? You was able, like, we over here talking our shit, man.
Bro, I told you, like, I was like, yo, I'm gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? And again, I don't do nothing I don't believe in, bro. Let's just put that out there. Like, I'll put that out there again. But I always believed in you, bro. Like that's why I told you to get on my song. That's why, you know what I mean? Like that's why it just always was respect, bro.
Yeah, no, always.
You know what I mean? Because one was your talent. That's the first thing.
Word.
That's the first thing. But then when I actually got to have a few conversations with you, I was like, yo, this dude's solid, bro. Like this is like, because I meet a lot of talented people, but as human beings, I'm like, I can't rock with you, bro.
Okay.
Like, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. Like, you know, like you not for. One thing I learned is that you can't please everybody.
That's a fact.
That's one thing I learned, bro. You cannot please everybody. Once you learn that, you start to evolve, man. You start to evolve. And you start to know who you are. Like that, like I said on a post the other day. This is probably the first time I wrote like a post that was like talking directly to artists in a while. Because I used to do that a lot when I first came out. Because I had like it was you know how you kind of like have a chip on your shoulder because you just like you're one way and you just see all these people and they're just like, yo. And you're like, yo, why are you like this, bro? Like, do you understand? Like, competition is good, but not the negative competition, bro.
Right.
Like, we trying to get out of here, not stay here.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
You want to stay here and be the best here? Is that your goal?
Right.
If that's your goal, we definitely don't have nothing in common.
Limited mind frame.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? The best here, okay? Like. Come on, man. And even if you was on that, you probably should have been on that like 5 years ago, bro. Like 7, 10 years ago, probably, bro. You know what I mean? Like, because again, you're gonna have that time. Because again, I've had those stages where you was on a major artist's tour. You're doing this, you're doing that. So of course, those things will make your chest stand up a little bit. And, you know what I mean? And have you like, you know what I mean? And then if you. And like I said, I've had many humbling experiences. So then when I come down and I had to do it all myself again, so I had to rebuild that grow up again. Because at first I was timid, bro.
Right.
I was timid. If people watched me in the beginning, I would stand, even at BTS, bro, I used to stand over in the corner by myself. Standing over in the corner waiting for it. And then once I got on that stage, you would thought I was like the life of the party. But on the flip side, I feel like that was a time where I was being myself because your persona is an extension of you.
Indeed.
So ROYALE is an extension of Ronaldo.
Right.
You know, the man, you know, that ROYALE is who I always longed to be.
Right.
Because I was that shy dude.
You understand that? Yeah.
I was that shy dude who really was scared to talk to the females and stuff like that. But when I got on that stage, nothing stop me.
That's the thing.
You know what I mean? Like, and again, it's just a totally different feeling. You know that feeling.
I know. That's what I was telling you. It's like, yo, can't nobody tell me shit on that stage.
You can't
tell me shit.
Can't nobody tell me
nothing.
When I'm on that stage, man, it's mine, and you're gonna pay attention.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? Even if you don't want to.
You're going.
Because I've been to shows, man. Let's be honest, man. When you done been to a show and people don't want to give you your respect, but they got to. What they got to, because after, and they'll still be there with the bean face on and everything. But you know what I mean?
That shit. Yeah. That shit. Hold it first for a couple minutes, looking at you. Next thing you know, who you see? Pull out them motherfuckers phone on your ass.
I love, but you know what? Like I said, that's one thing I love about Boston is that we're a hard audience. So like, that's the one good thing about our city, because that's how you'll hone your craft. Because because if you go around and people are cheering you all the time, you're not gonna grow. When you go around, that's what made me feel so good. But to double back for a minute, when I was talking about the Apollo. Like how I was like so gone, was because I never got a reception like that before.
Right.
So it was like, oh, you know what I'm saying? And that I felt like a kid all over again. Like back, you know, when I was talking about the 6th grade, I was being on stage. I was back there again. And probably one other time too was when I did the Red Sox game. It was
Right.
Red Sox versus Yankees. 38,000 people.
Right. That's heavy.
That's heavy. And like, it's crazy because a lot of people would think you'll be nervous to go and do something like that.
Right.
And it's like, I crave that, bro.
Yeah.
Like I'm nervous doing this. You know what I'm saying? I'm more nervous talking to two people than I am talking to being in front of like, because the singing is just it's just me. I'm comfortable with it. I know I got it. It's just me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I mean, brother. So what's next? I mean, what's on the agenda for 2022?
2022 is just, like I said, the book of REY is gonna drop, and I gotta get you on there. We definitely gonna get you on there.
I'm there.
Definitely, because that was one of the things I also said I was gonna do, is I wanted to work with more artists this time around. Most times I'm always like just doing me,
right,
or have like one feature or whatever. Like now I want to kind of like see, it goes back to showing love, like to the people that show love to me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm working with all different cameramen, all different. Like I'm just, it's gonna be a different, because I like working with people.
Right.
That's one thing that I found out about myself, and I wasn't really like that at first. I was kind of like stuck in my own little zone. You know what I mean? But now it's like I want to pull somebody in and be like, "Yo, this is my idea. Can you make this happen?" You know what I mean? Like I want to do that. So I'm definitely gonna be working with new producers, new videographers, man. Just coming with that what I'm known for.
Right.
But just this album is gonna be about redemption. This is gonna talk. I'm speaking straight for us fellas, man, about the things that we go through and relationships. You know what I'm saying? The things that we go through, because a lot of people don't, because we're men, they feel like we don't got feelings.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Or we ain't supposed to react a certain way, or we ain't supposed to like get, because it's not in our blood. Like it's not in our. We're supposed to just be tough all the time. You know what I mean? But there's a time where you alone and you feeling like, yo, like why is this happening to me?
No, indeed.
People need to hear that.
That's a fact.
People need to hear that, because everything people hear is just turn up all the time. So naturally they're like, dudes don't be caring about girls, man. He's in the club, he don't care about no girl. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, when you're 20 years old.
Yeah.
But when you start to grow up, man, you like, yo, I need a wife, you know.
That's how it goes.
Like stuff start getting different, man. So I feel like as I'm going up to that point where I'm, you know, I want to be, you know whose vibe I want to have, bro? When I'm older, I want to have Sonny's vibe, bro. Rest in peace. Sonny. Rest in peace, bro.
R.I.P. the gangster.
Like, people love that dude, yo. You know what I'm saying? And it's because Sonny always tried to bring people together, bro.
Passionate.
And that's what this is all about.
Yeah.
It ain't about the competition, like I'm better than you. Like, yo, who cares about that, bro? And that's what, like, there was so many singers and people that I wanted to connect with, but these dudes wanted to.
They try to put y'all niggas against each other.
They want to put us against each other. Like, yo, I love all the dudes who sing out here, bro. Yeah. They all talented, man. You know what I'm saying? We could all make good music. We could all make money, bro. That's what we supposed to be doing, making money, bro. Stop trying, like, yo. Get on the track with REY. You know how to get on the track with you, bro. What's the problem? That's what famous dudes do. That's why they are famous. That's why they're eating.
That's why they're driving. That's the thing. But I mean, I feel like hopefully we get to that point one day. I feel like we're doing a lot better than we used to be with that aspect of it, man. But all in all, I want to say you're appreciated, my G.
Oh man,
you're appreciated.
I appreciate you,
like,
brother.
And I'm giving out the flowers this year. Like I said, I'm giving out the flowers, bro. Like, you deserve it.
I appreciate it.
You know what I'm saying, bro? You deserve it.
You too, though.
No doubt.
You too, though. Hey man, listen. It ain't. I'm just a vessel, bro. It's about me, but I do this for the people, man.
No doubt.
I do this for the people. Like I said, my next album is about me. It's about you.
Right.
It's about him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's about the like what we go through, bro.
Real shit. And I can't wait to hear that motherfucker. You might hear me on that motherfucker too, nigga. So just relax.
You definitely gonna be up on there. My G, I appreciate you, man.
You know what I mean?
No doubt.
You did. I finally got to get him. You know what I'm saying? It's Actuality Speaks. It's your boy 7 Cents. And if it ain't real talk, please stay silent, goddammit. Woo. Yeah.